On this show, we cover some sensitive topics.
Though the obituaries may be outlandish, the people are real.
Names have been changed or omitted in order to respect both the deceased and the survived by.
While death is no laughing matter, some petty last words can provide some pretty entertaining comic relief.
Welcome to Obituary. Welcome back to Obituary. I'm Spencer Henry.
And I'm Madison Reyes.
You know what's crazy, Madison?
I think I know.
By the time this episode comes out, our brand new show will be out in the world.
I cannot wait.
Our youngest child. We started with Cult Leader, then came Obituary, and now we've got our newest baby.
You were a single dad for a while.
I was, and then we got together, we had Obituary.
And now?
We have our new girl.
Our new girl. I cannot wait. I can't believe she's here and she's in the world.
I know. Well, it's so weird because it was such a long time coming.
Yeah.
I feel like we just worked on it and worked on it and worked on it, and it all has gotten to a place where it just feels exactly right. I'm so excited for everyone to listen to it because it's so different than anything we've done. And it's going to be fun. Like, I'm excited to hear everyone's reactions to it. It's weird because it's one of those weird moments where it's like, this is the last time we're sitting here recording together before it's out. And it's always weird when something comes out because it's like,
yeah.
What are people saying? What do they think? So hopefully you guys like it and love it and want more of it.
Want more of it, yes. And I want to put together like a blooper reel from our recording studio days because it was hilarious. Not as hilarious as recording the audiobook because we were on like a time crunch for this.
And we weren't allowed to have that footage or audio.
I know. I really hope that maybe someday somehow it can come out.
Come on, Mr. Penguin, just leak it.
Yeah, come on. It was hilarious.
Other exciting things is we are gearing up to go on the book tour. And so we were just sharing with each other some things from our childhood that if you come to the book tour, you will see. And I'm actually really excited because there's so many fun stories from writing the book that we haven't shared and that we'll share there.
Yeah.
Like at the book tour.
Truly a live behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like some book tours, it's like the author sits there, reads the book, but that's author. It's us, baby. You're getting us.
We're so used to, like, when we went on tour, like having so many visuals and putting on like a show, not just like a live podcast. So we're like, okay, how do we make this more fun?
Yeah.
And I think we figured it out.
We feel like the key is just being unhinged and unfiltered and saying everything that we can't say on the podcast.
Yeah.
So get ready for that. If you haven't gotten tickets yet, go to obituarypodcast.com for tickets and hopefully we'll see you there.
We'll see you there.
Goodbye. Just imagine. No. Okay. We have so much fucking good stuff to talk about today. I know some of what you're talking about and because you couldn't wait to tell me.
Oh my God, I know. I'm so excited for this. And by the way, well, I'll talk about it in my coffin spinner. I had to translate stuff into English.
Shit.
So who knows how it's going to go.
God, I had a crazy weekend last weekend. As you can tell from my damn shirt.
I was looking at that. I'm like, I figured he probably got that wherever
this is the casino purchase, sweetheart.
Oh.
I was down at the river.
Did you go to a casino?
We stayed at a casino.
Did you gamble?
Yes.
How fun. Were you at like slot machines?
Yeah.
How cool.
Well, okay, so I went with my boyfriend and his family to Parker, Arizona. which is along like there's like the Colorado River or
Okay.
whatever. And it was wild. It was so much fun, such good people watching, great times. We're on his dad's boat all weekend.
Okay.
It was fucking toasty. I just felt so tired. And then we got home on Monday night. And then I had been like texting our trainer about working out. And I was like, you know what? Just go ahead. I'm not going to be there Monday. So just go ahead. We'll just work out Wednesday, Friday this week. And he's like, no, it's great. Actually, you can come Thursday too.
He really does have that accent too.
Yeah. And so he's like, so I ended up fucking just coming back and just hitting it hard. And I'm leaving again tomorrow. And we've just been running around.
Running around. I know.
You're going to Palm Springs because
Yeah.
it is your birthday in 2 days.
My birthday is in 2 days. I do share a birthday with Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Do you?
We have the same birthday. Not the same year. I think she's a little younger, unfortunately. But on Saturday, I'm actually going to the Hollywood Forever Cemetery to see...
And I'm so sad that I can't be there.
No.
But I'll be at a funeral.
I know. So a birthday, a funeral, and a cemetery.
What more could you ask for? I know. Madison's husband texted me like months ago and he's like, we're doing this for Madison's birthday. I was like, I can't. I feel like I'm never gone for your birthday.
Well, you know what? I think the best excuse is a funeral.
It is. Well, I'm going to a celebration of life, actually, for my uncle who passed away.
Aww.
But it's going to be very light. I think it's going to be very, very much just a celebration of his life. And what is interesting is that I really have been thinking about celebrations of life. And I don't think we've gone really in depth on what those usually entail. So I think on an upcoming episode pretty soon here, I kind of want to just go over what to expect because I was even like, I know the basics, but I'm like, is there a technical rule book of like what you're supposed to do at a celebration of life versus an actual funeral. So I started going down the rabbit hole on that a little bit. But wait, I want to go back to what you were just saying, the Gypsy Rose thing. You have watched now, right? All 8 episodes of Life After Lockup?
Yes.
Okay, you guys, Geoffs, if you haven't listened on Cult Leader, I have been recapping every episode of that, and it's been an absolute blast. So go check those out.
It's such a, I mean, you and I have even gotten into it a little bit, like just both of us recapping it to each other on the phone. And like we have some differences of opinion sometimes on it. Like it's such a polarizing thing. I feel like Gypsy and Ryan and Ken and I mean for the most part.
I think we agree actually for 99% of it.
There are some times though where I'm like, nope, I feel bad for Ryan.
Yeah, and then, I just don't have that.
Yeah. No, I know. I know.
He's manipulative and weird and it's just, I don't like him.
Yeah.
But I talk all about it. I talk all about it on there. So go listen to my thoughts.
All about it. But okay, also, you know what else is polarizing?
What?
Well, I'm going to Palm Springs in 2 days, and that means that the hat might be packed. The little hat.
Not the little evil hat?
I have to find it and throw it away or something. I feel like we might have talked about this before, but Cisco has a hat that he wears in the sun.
It's a bucket hat, first of all.
Bucket hat.
So already a problem.
Already a problem. And for some reason, he turns evil when he wears it. And he always breaks it out in Palm Springs. And so
there's been some, I don't want to say fights. There's been some arguments in that
in that little
brings
hat.
out a nasty side of it.
It brings out.
I've gotten a few phone calls when he's wearing that hat from Madison like, oh, you know what? I want to go home.
Yeah. And now he knows it too. Like he found it not too long ago and like put it on and looked at me like.
It's like the mask.
Yeah.
Like he just puts it on and he just becomes a demon.
Yeah. So hopefully it does not get packed. I will make sure it does not get packed.
Do not let that hat in the car.
I can't handle it. Oh, he's also going camping and he bought little water shoes.
There's no bigger ick than a grown man in water shoes. Well, everyone listening to this in like bucket hats and water shoes are like, what the fuck? I thought they were cool.
I know, they're neon
I felt nice today.
Listen, they're neon orange.
For what? Is he going water exploring? Anyway, I'm not okay with a man in water shoes. I'm not okay with that. Other things, I don't think guys should wear jeans and flip-flops.
Okay.
Like pants and flip-flops.
Yeah.
I think that's something my mom, my sister, and I always talked about.
Uh-huh.
And luckily, the champ is also on the same page. But we got to the river, and I had like Vans and Converse because like I just didn't think of anything. I'm like, oh well, I'll just take them off, like if we like when we're on the boat or whatever.
Yeah.
But everyone else had flip-flops.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my God, do you not have flip-flops? And I was like, I don't. And the champ was like, listen, this is the only time it's appropriate, okay? Like, he's like, I don't wear these anywhere but here. Just know that. I was like, okay. And then I wondered if we've like talked shit about it on the shows before.
Well, Cisco wears rainbows, like the rainbow flip-flops. And the reason he never wore a flip-flop ever. But one time we were in Palm Springs and he decided to wear penny loafers without any socks. And we were walking around and it got to the point where he's like, I can't keep walking. It hurts so bad. It hurts. So we had to stop in a store and get him flip-flops. And they were rainbows and he loves them. And he wears them all the time now.
Can we talk about your AC?
Fuck, dude. I've had no AC since June 6th.
Literally, the second that it started getting hot here, her AC in her entire house goes out.
Mm-hmm. And it's taking forever. Apparently, you need permits to replace an AC. It's a nightmare. God. So we are struggling.
She's had my like portable ones because Betty Bungalow did not have AC. My house now does, but Betty Bungalow didn't. So I had these like big portable ones and like the window one. And I had people coming to stay for 4th of July. And I was like, I'm sorry, girl, I need because the little casita where guests stay doesn't have its own AC. So it gets hot out there.
Right.
But you got them back.
I got them back. Thank God for those. Because, yeah, it's been pretty fucking rough. I'm just sweating.
It's hot.
You told me today, like, my jaw looks, like, kind of more defined. And I'm like, yeah, it's probably because my house is a sauna. And I'm just sweating everything out.
Well, and the gym, too. Our gym doesn't, like, have well, I don't think they turn it on, the AC.
No, it's like a humid sauna. God,
help us all.
Help us all.
So life's really hard for us, actually.
So hard.
Please buy our book at prh.com/obituary to get Madison AC again.
Please, I need it.
Please come to our book tour. How else is she ever going to be okay again? No, think of the dogs. Come on.
Oh, God, I know.
I know. Hopefully they're going to fix it like when fall hits.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Well.
We meet again. Should we... What are we doing? Am I going to go first?
I think you should do some assholes.
Okay,
and then I have something that I want to talk about.
Okay. It's personal or business?
It's business.
Okay. I'll hear you out. This first Am I the Asshole says, am I the asshole for telling my sister that it is her fault that she missed our grandfather's funeral?
Well, let's hear it. We'll be the judge.
My 26-year-old male grandfather recently passed away after suffering from Alzheimer's for years. While it was sad, I knew he would be happier wherever he was going. During the planning of his funeral, my sister and I discussed who would attend, and she mentioned bringing her girlfriend. I've always been openly supportive of my sister, 22, and her relationship, but our family isn't. They haven't met her girlfriend and aren't wanting to, so I didn't think it was a good idea. When I told my sister that bringing her girlfriend to the funeral would cause drama, she got upset. She said she doesn't feel safe without her girlfriend there, and I offered to stay with her during the entire service if she felt uncomfortable around certain family members, but she insisted on bringing her girlfriend. She said they are engaged, so her girlfriend is basically family whether others like it or not. I told her it seemed like she just wanted drama, and that if she felt like she had to bring her girlfriend, she might as well not go, because the funeral wasn't about her and her girlfriend, but about our grandfather. My sister got very emotional, which made me feel bad, but I didn't think a funeral was the place to introduce her girlfriend to of the family. My sister left and ended up not attending the funeral. It's been almost a week since the funeral, and I called my sister to check on her since we hadn't spoken much since our disagreement. She wanted to know about our grandfather's service, so I recapped everything. Then she started getting upset and saying she wished she could have been there, and this made me angry because she could have been there, so I explained she chose not to attend because she wanted to bring someone to intentionally cause drama. This turned into another argument, and her girlfriend ended up taking her phone and hanging up on me, throwing in a jab about me being a bad brother. I feel like I could have handled the situation better, but I tried to offer countless solutions to my sister. Am I the asshole?
I think the whole family's the asshole for not being supportive of her relationship.
Yeah.
The whole family not accepting her is shitty. I can sympathize with her feeling like, what the fuck? Like, this is my partner. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I don't think bringing your partner is to cause drama.
The brother was voted the asshole, and I agree with that. And I think it's for a multitude of reasons. Like, I get if the family's homophobic, like, it could be uncomfortable, but it's like, why should she have to be uncomfortable
No,
there
that's what I'm saying.
versus them being uncomfortable with her bringing a girlfriend there? And he says in it too, like, oh, you just want to bring her to start drama.
That's what I was saying. That's not drama.
No, it's not drama. So, yeah, I don't know. I think he was the asshole in this situation because you just have your siblings back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'd be like, do it. Who gives a fuck if they don't like it? Oh, well.
Yeah. He totally could have just said that.
I would say that, or I would say, but if you don't want to go because of how they are, I also don't blame you for not coming.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Okay, now this one says, am I the asshole for the way I handled a family situation? It's been a year since all communication with my brother has been cut after an argument about inheritance. Our family situation has always been toxic. My parents are divorced, and my brother and I grew up with our mother. My brother moved away a long time ago, and he's visited 3 times in the past 14 years. 2 of those times have been since our mother had been diagnosed with dementia. My mother made a will 15 years ago, before her illness, where she left the house we grew up in to me and another property she owns to my brother. I told her I didn't want to discuss it until she had that talk with him because it's her decision and I didn't want to be put in the middle. I'm only mentioning this because this will has gone missing since my brother's visit. It might be a coincidence, it might not. Since my mother's situation is getting worse, she wanted to make the will again at a lawyer's office, and I told her I wasn't comfortable with that until she spoke to my brother, but she refused because apparently she didn't want the drama. I forwarded him the email where my mother outlined what she wanted, and I didn't get a response for a week. When I sent him text to try to figure out what he thought or what he wanted to do, he only responded in emails and very short sentences. I tried calling and he wouldn't take my calls. After some back and forth, he wrote me an email accusing me of trying to profit, saying that I don't take care of our mother, how he has debt and needs it more, stupid stuff like that. It really hurt me and I decided not to respond to any more emails like that, so I didn't. Just to be clear, he hasn't done anything to help our mother. He talks to her maybe once a month and that's it. I take care of her bills, make sure she doesn't spend all her money and can't eat, keep track of her movements, take care of medication, doctor's visits. Fast forward to now, he's visiting this year and I found out he has been secretly videotaping my mother to get proof that she wants to leave him our house. Like I mentioned before, my mother has dementia and she says different things at different times. I keep replaying everything and trying to figure out what I could have done to fix the situation, but I feel like I can't trust him, so I don't know how we can move forward with this.
Wow. Well, first of all, I think it's odd that the mother is wanting to change her will or make updates to it when she's in her, like, fully in her illness, like fully in, because I don't think she would qualify to be of sound mind.
Yeah, someone needs to have like power of attorney or something over her. It seems like
the brother sounds like a fucking asshole, though.
Yeah.
For the original will to go missing, to secretly video recording his mom,
saying that she's gonna leave it to him. That alone tells me everything I need to know.
Yeah, you're Snake. God.
So she's not the asshole. Brother is the asshole.
Nobody would.
I'm so sick of these inheritance idiots. I know. Everyone is so entitled.
So entitled. Okay, well, you gave us snakes. I'm going to raise you spiders.
Okay.
Okay. Instead of a listener email, I was going through my phone, and Spencer, I think you do the exact same thing, but like I'll screenshot something.
Yeah.
and then completely forget about it.
Never look at it again.
Yeah.
It's like saving a recipe from TikTok or something. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, next time I'm hungry, I'll just go look for that video I saved.
Okay, well, I did it.
Oh my God.
Because on your phone, you can just go to your screenshots. I'm like, I
Yeah.
know there's some good shit in here.
Yup.
So I was looking through it and I found this article and it is just freaky. It's from 2022 from Science. Yes, from sciencenews.org. Scientists turned dead spiders into robots.
Love.
In a new field dubbed necrobotics, researchers used dead arachnids to clutch objects. Scientists have literally reanimated dead spiders to do their bidding. In a new field dubbed necrobotics, researchers converted the corpses of wolf spiders into grippers that can manipulate objects. All the team had to do was stab a syringe into a dead spider's back and superglue it in place. Pushing fluid in and out of the cadaver made its legs clench open and shut. The idea was born from a simple question. A mechanical engineer at Rice University in Houston, Faye Yap, explains, why do spiders curl up when they die? The answer: spiders are hydraulic machines. They control how much their legs extend by forcing blood into them. A dead spider no longer has that blood pressure, so its legs curl up.
How interesting.
Isn't that interesting?
That is fascinating.
We were just thinking that was so cool, Yap says. We wanted to leverage it. Her team first tried putting dead wolf spiders in a double boiler, hoping that the wet heat would make the spiders expand and push their legs outward. That didn't work, but when the researchers injected fluid straight into a spider corpse, they found that they could control its grip well enough to pull wires from a circuit board and pick up other dead spiders.
Oh my God.
Only after hundreds of uses did the necrobots start to become dehydrated and show signs of wear. In the future, which is scary, the researchers will coat spiders with a sealant to hold off that decline. But the next big step is to control the spider's legs individually, Yap says, and in the process, figure out more about how spiders work. Then her team could translate their understanding into better design for other robots. That would be very, very interesting, says Rashid Bashir, a bioengineer at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, who wasn't involved in the new study. A spider corpse itself would probably have problems as a robot, he says, because it won't perform consistency like hard robots, and its body will break down over time, but spiders can definitely offer lessons to engineers. There's a lot to be learned from biology and nature. Despite the whole reanimating dead spiders thing, Yap is no mad scientist. She wonders whether it's okay to play Frankenstein, even with spiders. No one really talks about the ethics when it comes to this sort of research, she says. Scientists need to figure out the morality of this sort of bioengineering before they get too good at it. Bashir agrees. The question is, he says, how far do you go?
Do it to everything. Do it to a hand, an amputated hand.
Uh-huh.
Like Addams Family. Thing.
Thing.
Do that. We don't need more spiders, but I would love to see a hand walking.
Well, could you imagine, like...
Yes.
You could just imagine
I
it.
could just imagine it. Because you know what I love are like, they're always going around Fairfax and stuff, those little robots that deliver food.
Oh my God, I love them.
We stop and talk to them.
Yeah, like, oh, look at you go.
They like bring people's Postmates orders and stuff. They're like little robots.
And they say their name on them.
Yeah. And I love them so much. And I'm like, I would love to see just a hand going by, like walking with a little bag on it.
That'd be so cool, like to donate. I would
Yes.
donate my hand. I have great hands. Not right now, because I have a fingernail fungus on one of them. But I do have great hands. I could be a hand model. Well, I'm up first this week.
You are.
Which means that you should have a little side bitch for us.
I do, and I love it.
Okay.
This is for Catherine Begg. She was born October 29th, 1951, and passed away last year, May 27th, 2023.
Okay.
Catherine died on May 27th, which was the date and time of her own choosing. due to her terminal illness with ALS. She was 72. Others are not so fortunate. Ask, advocate, demand for your right to die with dignity. Do not let others allow you to suffer needlessly. Death is a gateway to who knows where. I expect I am having a fabulous adventure. As I have no religious affiliations or beliefs, and I have no desire for any rituals, I have decided to have no funeral. But I am open to the possibility of returning to this planet in another form. I still have so much to learn. And then they end with a quote, "The cage is open. Now all I have to do is run." And I loved it.
That's beautiful.
It combined so many things that we love, like death with dignity.
Yeah.
And I mean, ALS is brutal. We've talked about it before. One of my grandfathers had ALS, and it was just pretty gnarly.
Ugh.
But I love the outlook. Hey, I'm going. Don't know what's out there.
Her own choosing. Yeah.
New adventure.
A new adventure. Wow. I love that. Short, but powerful.
Yeah. Sweet.
Okay.
So what we're going to do now, ready for this? It's an unexpected twist. We're going to take a break.
Oh!
And when we come back, Madison will tell us what had her spinning in her coffin this week. We'll be right back. And we're back. What had you spinning in your coffin this week?
Well, this week, I wanted to dive into a pretty fascinating story of a man named August Gottfried Knoche. His last name, there's a couple different ways to pronounce it. We're going with Knoche, okay? He's best known for developing a mysterious embalming concoction that has literally intrigued scientists and doctors even till this day.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so let's just dive into it. We're going to just talk about him and his whole story. So Gottfried was born August Gottfried Knoche in 1813 in Germany. There's really not too much known about his early adolescent life or his immediate family, but we do know that he studied medicine at the University of Freiburg in 1837 in Germany, working in the university's hospital when he wasn't in class, furthering his medical knowledge. Sometime in that time frame, he got married to a woman I believe is named Henrietta. Again, there's not a lot about her, and had a daughter named Anna. There were a few blogs that I'll get into and articles that were all from Venezuela. You'll understand because this story takes place not in Germany. It actually takes place in Venezuela. So I translated a lot of it to English, and I'll link those. But I will say that the articles and blogs that are from Venezuelan sources give way more detail and like more salacious detail than any American website. And they just paint a different picture of him than what I've read in English, but we'll get there. So a few years later in 1840, Gottfried moves to Venezuela. He left his daughter and his wife in Germany just until he settled in. And I was trying to figure out, like, why did he move to Venezuela of all places? Like, did he have family there? Like, what was the deal? And I guess during that time, many German people emigrated to Venezuela, and Germans colonized Venezuela in the 15th century.
Yeah.
So anyway, Gottfried moved there and started his medical career. He originally started on a naval base, but then moved to La Guaira. He worked as a doctor and was incredibly well liked there. He was known to be extremely charitable, oftentimes not even charging his lower income patients if they were in a pinch. Around this time, too, the cholera epidemic was spreading like wildfire around there. And he is said to have fearlessly treated a ton of patients. And another charitable and pretty noble thing that he did was that he was involved in reestablishing the old San Juan de Dios hospital, where he ended up practicing medicine. He founded it with like a couple other doctors. The Central University of Venezuela finally certified his medical credentials in 1845. He also, I guess, had a love of farming and a love of horses, and he ended up purchasing farmland there. calling his property Hacienda Buena Vista, which I'll post a picture of it. There's a lot of drawings now. There's like some pictures of it currently, but there are some drawings of what it did look like. And it is so beautiful. It's like an incredible property. Like there's so much greenery, just a beautiful house.
Well,
and
isn't that Buena Vista? Wouldn't that be like good view or something?
Well, because it had a good view of the ocean.
Okay.
And a lot of articles say that it was not so much in a hacienda style, but more in like an old German forest castle. Either way, this property has become pretty infamous, and we'll get there shortly. But he was totally settled in, and he had his wife and daughter join him there finally and settle in with him. And he even employed his wife and daughter to be his nurse and his assistant. So it was like a whole family medical affair, right?
Why not? Who needs credentials?
Yeah. Yeah, that's so true.
Like,
anything goes. It's the 1800s.
Why not? They weren't sterilizing. We know that.
Yeah. In the 1850s and 1860s, there was a terrible federal civil war going on in Venezuela. It was one of, if not the messiest, bloodiest wars Venezuela ever had. And this meant a ton of unclaimed bodies were floating through the hospital that Gottfried established. Okay, so apparently Gottfried would smuggle these unclaimed bodies on horseback or on mule back to his hacienda. Because his hacienda, he had built a whole laboratory in it where he would experiment. He also had a mausoleum on his property as well. So Gottfried did not like decomposition. He saw so much death. He saw a lot of decomposing. He did not want it. He wanted to do everything in his power to stop the human body from decomposing. So his experiments were all geared towards stopping decomposition or at least slowing it. And he used all of these unclaimed bodies. After who knows how many bodies he experimented on, he finally came up with a concoction of liquids that allowed him to inject into the veins of a corpse, fully embalm them, and beautifully preserve them without needing to remove any organs.
Huh.
It is said that he kept these corpses in his laboratory to study. And at this time, he had another assistant who he brought out from Germany who helped with his experiments named Amelie Weissman. And some say that she was actually his cousin. Either way, she was like devout to him, like even till the day he died. The news of his embalming breakthrough, I guess, got out. And it spread like wildfire through town. Rumors started to just spread everywhere, but for the most part, it seems people still liked him. They just thought that he was a little weird and quirky. Although I have read rumors, like ones that I had to translate, that Gottfried was actually obsessed with figures like Nosferatu and Dr. Frankenstein and his monster, and was kind of like a mad scientist. He also was apparently heavily into spiritualism and astronomy. But again, these are just rumors. And also, who cares if he is? But I think that he's probably kind of in the middle. I think he's probably like a curious medical professional and also a weird science guy.
It's just a little eccentric.
Yeah. I mean, morally, to experiment on unclaimed bodies is not okay.
Different time.
But it was a different time. So news was spreading, and allegedly, the family of a very prominent politician and journalist, Thomas Lander, reached out to Gottfried to use his breakthrough formula on him. I guess Thomas apparently wanted to be preserved so well that his corpse could be not decompose, dressed up, groomed nicely in a great outfit, and he wanted to be placed at the entrance of his home.
Extreme embalming, baby. We love it.
At a desk. Exactly. And apparently, Gottfried did. He administered this concoction, and Tomas was stationed in his home, perfectly preserved for 40 years until he was finally buried.
Wow.
Although I'm going to burst everybody's bubble because, I mean, I love that story so much, but I found out that Tomas actually died in 1845, which was before Gottfried developed his famous embalming formula. But who knows? You never know.
History gets mixed up. It's like a game of telephone.
Yeah. Anyway, another prominent person that Gottfried allegedly preserved was the president of Venezuela, Francisco Linares Alcantara. Apparently, he was preserved by him. Some other rumors I read about was that Gottfried went back to Berlin for a little while, and while everyone thought he was just this nice family man, apparently he had a ton of extramarital affairs. So it's historically accurate that Gottfried's wife did end up leaving Venezuela. We know that to be true, but everything I've read is she left because she didn't like the atmosphere there or the weather. But the stuff that I translated was actually she left because she went insane. And
love a mad woman.
I absolutely believe that, because could you imagine your husband has a laboratory, first of all, in his house, and also
problem number one.
That's crazy. Second, all of these unidentified, unclaimed dead bodies are showing up, and he's just experimenting on them and preserving them, and they're your new housemates. I would lose my fucking mind.
Yeah, you gotta have the right setup for that.
Yeah. Gottfried ended up living the rest of his life at the hacienda after his wife left among these mummies. And his trusty assistant, Amelie, who was dubbed by locals, I guess, as the Witch of Avila. I guess people thought she was fucking weird and could talk to birds.
No wonder he liked her.
Yeah. He also outlived his daughter, Anna. She had eventually gotten married. He outlived her husband, and then he also outlived his own brother, all of whom he used his special formula on, and all of whom are in the mausoleum on the property preserved. Now, there are two stories about Gottfried's death. Both say that he died January 2nd, 1901. One of those stories that I've read said that he just died at his desk. But the other, more prominent and honestly more believable one is that he knew he was going to die. He was 88 years old and he was just ready to go. So he prepared some of his embalming fluid, had his assistant Amelie walk with him to his mausoleum on the property. She then injected him with the embalming fluid while he was still alive, and then he locked himself away in the mausoleum until he died.
Wow, what an incredible ending.
I know. Amelie ended up living another 25 years after Gottfried's death and lived on the property and took care of the hacienda until her death in 1926. And she was given the formula and placed in the mausoleum as well when she died. There's also a mummified soldier that guarded the mausoleum on the property, and also there were these mummified dogs on the property that guarded it. Okay, so the biggest thing about this story, though, is that Gottfried never told anyone about what exactly his breakthrough formula was. In 1929, a team went into the property because it was abandoned after Amelie's death, and they went exploring mostly to find the exact formula. Instead, they found a very vandalized property. Things were overgrown, and all of the bodies that were in the mausoleum had been taken out of their little niches and just thrown around. And over the years, many teams and medical professionals have tried to visit the property to see if they can find this embalming formula, but nobody ever has.
Oh, interesting.
Also, today, now the property is officially a part of the El Avila National Park. So it's part of a national park, and it's still there today, abandoned and pretty dilapidated, but still eerie that you can see it.
Ooh.
Scientists have tried to figure out Gottfried's formula, and the closest that they have found to it is a mixture that is mostly aluminum chloride, but they still to this day do not know what he used.
Buried with a secret.
Buried with a secret.
Wow. What an incredible story.
Yeah, Gottfried.
Good
Crazy.
for him. I love a mad man.
I love just picturing this hacienda with a laboratory and this mad scientist with a corpse on a mule.
Oh, incredible.
Crazy. So that's it.
Love him.
Well, should we take a little break?
Yeah, let's take one more quick break. And when we come back, I'll tell you what had me spinning in my coffin this week.
Alrighty.
We'll be right back.
And we're back. Spencer, what had you spinning in your coffin this week?
A Geoff had me spinning in my coffin this week because they sent us the following email. It says, "Hi, Madison and Spencer. First off, I just wanted to say thank you for all of your hard work on the podcast." You're welcome. No, just kidding. Thanks for listening to us.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to be watching your journey and growth in the podcast space and can't wait for the new podcast. We can't either. My week doesn't feel complete without listening to your sweet voices and infectious laughs. I pre-ordered my copy of your audiobook, and I think it's going to become my new favorite comfort listen when I'm down and needing a pick-me-up. I love that. I want to be a comfort listen for someone.
I know.
Anyway, I saw a TikTok about this house, and after I Googled it, I knew y'all had to see it. You've talked about the upkeep of cemeteries before, and the origin of this house falls along those lines, which I thought was interesting. I also read that it is still privately owned and currently lived in, and I don't want to give it away. Okay. And they say if it makes it to the pod, you can use my name. Fun fact, you've actually said my name on the pod twice because I've sent you Christmas cards the past 2 years, and you've mentioned them both times.
And what's their name?
Jesse. And now I want
to
go through the Christmas cards so I have a visual. Well, thank you, Jesse, so much for the Christmas cards and for sending this in.
Because kind words,
yes,
too.
I started looking into the property Jesse was talking about, and it is a pretty incredible story. So let's get into it. The house in question is located at 1736 Youngs Road in Petersburg, Virginia. If you were just driving past this house, nothing about it would really capture your attention. Okay. At first, it's a seemingly normal 2-story home. Actually, let me show you a picture of it before.
Okay.
Just so that you have this visual. Because like when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, it just looks like just a house.
Yeah.
You know? Well, upon closer inspection, you'd notice that the tiles that make up not only the home, but also the home's walkway. See these?
Mm-hmm.
And that?
It's like a cement house.
Well, they're actually made entirely of stone. And where the stones come from is the true fascinating part of this story, because they come from a, drumroll, grave.
What?
Yes, this house is quite literally made of tombstones.
What?
The entire thing.
How?
Well, there's an Atlas Obscura article about this that said, quote, "The Tombstone House in Petersburg, Virginia is a wonderful example of waste not, want not. Or is it waste not, haunt not? Only the owners would know. Though it may look like a typical stone house, its foundation has macabre origins. The building was constructed in 1934 from the bottom half of government-issued marble tombstones that previously topped the graves of Union soldiers in Poplar Lawn Cemetery."
What?
The soldiers all died in the Siege of Petersburg, which lasted for 9 months at the end of the Civil War. They were eventually buried at Poplar Lawn Cemetery. After their original wooden grave markers rotted away, which is something we need to talk about, is wooden graves, the government installed upright marble headstones to take their place. However, and this is so obituary, during the Great Depression, maintaining the cemetery and the headstones suffered because of scant funding. The city decided to cut the tombstones in half and lay the top halves, which were engraved with the soldiers' details, on the ground so that they no longer stood erect.
Got it.
And then these makeshift flat graves not only saved money on mowing, but also maintenance costs. The bottom halves of the 2,200 slain tombstones were then sold for the princely sum of $45.
Wow.
Their new owner, Oswald Young, used them to build his house, chimney, and walkway.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
So they were tombstones of soldiers cut in half.
Like they were originally
sold.
like upright tombstones.
Right.
And so they cut them in half. They laid down the part that had their actual like
Information.
inscriptions on
Yeah.
them. And then they sold off the bottom halves.
Wow.
And somebody literally built their entire house out of them.
I love that.
I know. I feel like it was like a cool way of repurposing them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because at first, when I heard about the house and when I was reading some other articles about it, nowhere really captured it like Atlas Obscura, but like some of the other.
You're like, is this disrespect?
Yeah, because at first I was like, wait a second. Like,
Yeah.
are these like, are you looking at your wall and seeing like born 17?
Yeah.
But no, that is not the case. So I started reading more about it. I was reading about it a little bit on Reddit, but that led me to another post that somebody had made in a group called Mildly Interesting. And it said, I found out our house is made of gravestones. And theirs are legit
Whoa.
gravestones. We'll post pictures of it. And they added some more info in the actual post. They said, I bought the place about 10 years ago, especially because it is built from quarry stones. The previous owner also owned a local quarry. That's at least what his family told us when selling the place. This year, we started doing some construction work and had to remove parts of the pillar/foundation. I noticed the inscription on some of the stones. No doubt those are gravestones.
Wow.
If our cat should die in the future, I'm definitely not going to bury her in the backyard, like that cemetery.
Yeah.
Somebody commented underneath and wrote, perhaps they replaced damaged headstones. If they were in the business, they would generate reject stones through dropping, damage, spelling errors, practice, samples, etc. See if you can match up a stone with one standing at a local cemetery, they wrote.
Okay.
The original poster said, sounds plausible, could be recycled gravestones as well, since most graves are not kept forever in my country. The family of the deceased person gets a contract from the cemetery with the rights to keep the grave over 20 years, and after that they are offered a new contract for the next 20 years. If there are no relatives left over to care about the grave, they use the place for new graves. The gravestones are usually disposed afterwards. I can live with that, I guess, as long as the house is not built on an ancient cemetery, which is also not totally impossible since it's pretty close to the local church. In the old days, cemeteries were often located behind the church, but that's very unlikely.
Do you know how many bodies are probably under us right now?
And
like just the history of the world.
Truly. And this guy lives in Germany. I guess they do the whole rent-a-grave situation over there. But yeah, I was just like, I love old houses for all of the quirks that come with them. And our houses are relatively new. They're like 100 years old.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's also what I love. Like when you go to the East Coast, I feel like there's so many old houses. There are all the old cemeteries that we've gone to out there, or ones that I've gone to in like Vermont and stuff, are so old. And it's just cool because I feel like there is just all this unearthed history. And also that's in the United States. I mean, really, across the pond, they have way more history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's also funny that we assign things like, oh, this is kind of morbid, to things that are inherently not. Like, it's a piece
rock.
of stone.
Yeah,
it's a rock, you know?
Totally. Well, 100%. And it also just, it's like, the more we do this show and the more we talk about like the 18th century and the 19th century, it's crazy that that's like when America was founded. Because America was founded in 1776. That's the 18th century. Like, and we talk about so many stories from like the 18th and 19th century. I'm like, America's a baby. Like she's the new girl.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Like,
yeah.
we don't have, our history does not go, obviously there was people here before us and the history runs deep there.
Right.
All the indigenous people, but like we just we're fucking new.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, I love that. I would love to live in a tombstone house.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Probably wouldn't get as fucking hot.
Yeah, probably keep it a little cooler.
My house, yeah.
I know. So it's not a super long story this week, but I just thought it was a story that I just was like, I got to talk about this tombstone house. And because it just kind of tied in the rent-a-grave situation.
Which we've got an episode on if you haven't listened. Very interesting.
Hey, we have so many episodes.
I know. God, what, 170 or something?
Fuck, something like that.
Something.
Well, tombstones are a beautiful way to memorialize someone, but another beautiful way is through an obituary. You got one?
I sure do. And unfortunately, this person passed away very, very recently, July of this year. This is Giovanna. And there's some things that are in
Giovanni.
There are things in here that I was reading this obituary. I'm like, I feel like I've read some of this before, but there's some jokes that get recycled throughout obituaries that I know we've talked about that before, but it's a good obituary nonetheless. So Giovanna passed away peacefully on July 11th, 2024 at the age of 77. Logic would tell you it was the cancer that got her, but we think she did it on purpose to avoid making a decision in the presidential election coming up. She left behind 3 kids, 8 grandkids, and 3 great-grandkids. She also left behind a lot of stuff, and we mean a lot. At least 75 local phone books in case people don't have social media and she needs to keep tabs on their information. Hundreds of utility bills and receipts dated all the way back to the early 1980s, and every set of shampoo and conditioner from the hotels she stayed at throughout her life.
We love a thrifty gal.
Yes. She was preceded in death by many loved ones, but we are certain she was most excited to reunite with her latest cat, Botat. We did have a close call once when someone left the door open on Christmas Eve and Botat made a run for it. Thanks a lot, Sherry. But Botat used her last life to find her way home months later and was waiting patiently on the porch when Giovanna got home from a close friend's funeral.
Aww.
I know. Luckily for her daughter, Giovanna found this as a sign and was then willing to mend their relationship. Speaking of luck, no one was as lucky as Giovanna was. She was a frequent flyer to Wendover or any casino she was nearby, and also loved to buy lottery tickets. Although she won many jackpots in her days, her most memorable time in the casino was when Cosette's water broke, which is, I think, one of her cousins, while they were playing bingo together in Las Vegas. Giovanna thought it would be a clever idea to throw alcohol in Cosette before they wheeled her out of the casino to try to hide the fact that her water broke in public. She threw alcohol at her.
I love it.
She spent most of her life working as a shipping clerk, then ended her working days as a dispatch out at the Snow Barn on HAFB. For her retired years, she found full-time work in thrift shopping and being very up-to-date on every recall the FDA posted and had to share the news with her loved ones. She was also so generous and thoughtful and thoroughly enjoyed finding the perfect card for every occasion. On holidays and birthdays, we looked forward to her questionable gifts, which meant they needed an explanation or she forgot what she was giving you. She loved her family more than anything in the world, except the color purple, sweets, and her shrine of Elvis memorabilia that would make any fan all shook up.
Oh my, are they having an estate sale?
I know. A few of her last words were telling her son Scott that she would unmom him because as he was trying to give her medicine, he missed and it dripped down her chin. No worries, Scott. We know you took great care of her. We will miss her sassy personality dearly. Following her wishes, there will be a celebration of life. We ask that well-wishers raise their glass full of her favorite Wild Vines Blackberry Merlot to make a toast and reminisce on all the silly and inappropriate comments that came out of her mouth. Her spirit will be lingering, and then it says, for show.
I love that.
I know, she sounds like a fun lady.
I have another one recent as well. This person passed away in May of 2024. And this is for Dal Lawrence Workington. And it says, Dalbert Lawrence Workington, known to all as Dal, died unexpectedly but peacefully at home on May 18th, 2024. Having survived malaria, a motorcycle accident, cancer, multiple heart attacks, 5 children, and many years as a teacher/principal, we thought he would outlive us all. He leaves behind his wife Betty, his 5 kids, Karen, Brad, Peter, Sigrid, and Sarah, many grandchildren and a few great-grandchildren, his siblings and in-laws. He is predeceased by his parents, his brother Harvey, and his first wife, Patricia. God broke the mold when Dal was born on June 21st, 1935, to Anne and Cornelius Workington in Hepburn, Saskatchewan. As a child, he was an avid reader, a tease, and a teacher to his younger siblings, a lover of music, and a challenger of anyone of authority. When Dal was 3, the family packed up and moved to the Niagara region of Ontario and soon established a small fruit farm adjacent to Anne's parents. His grandfather, Abram, became Dal's beloved hero as he was growing up and maintained that status throughout Dal's life. Dal fondly recalled his time on the farm, eating his body's weight in fruit daily and hiding in the outhouse when called upon to perform unpleasant chores. He did work hard, however, taking on additional jobs to buy his first bike, followed by his first car, a 1930s Model A coupe. He learned carpentry skills from his dad that he would use for the rest of his life, building houses, decks, canoes, furniture, or anything else he might dream up, which I love, a guy who can just fucking build shit.
Yeah.
As a child growing up in the Mennonite church, Dal dreamed of traveling the world as a missionary. As a young man, he discovered a different way to see the world, traveling as an educator. He attended Bethany Bible College while simultaneously completing high school through correspondence coursework, followed by the Wilfrid Laurier University, where he studied English. While working as a young teacher in Ontario, he met Patricia, a pediatric nurse whom he married in 1960. With their respective career choices, the pair made an admirable child-rearing team, and they grew their family by 3 children, Karen, Brad, and Peter. Pat was an avid partner in Dal's travel the world plans. Together, the family lived in Hamilton, Wawa, and St. Joseph's Island, Ontario, overseas in Thogato, Kenya, then back in Oakville, Ontario, and on to Leaf Rapids and Killarney. In Kenya, Dal's passion for wildlife photography was born as he snapped black and white stills of lions, antelope, and zebras. Oh my. They took the kids camping everywhere, from the coast and parks in Kenya to the bush in northern Manitoba, using a canvas tent which weighed about a ton after the rain. Dal loved boats and built several over the years, including a houseboat built one winter in the school board's bus repair garage. In Killarney, he got his private pilot license and went flying in his Taylorcraft single-engine airplane, taking the kids up for a bird's-eye view. In this adventurous lifestyle, Dal and Pat raised their 3 children together until the end of their marriage. While working in a teacher training program in the Caribbean, Dal met a fellow teacher from Manitoba, Betty Anderson. They married in 1984 and had 2 daughters, Sigrid and Sarah, in the following years. Together, Dal and Betty taught in Winnipeg, Minna, Nigeria, God's Lake Narrows, and St. Anne, Nairobi, Kenya, Argentina, and San Jose, Costa Rica. Dal built from scratch or renovated every home the family lived in and still found time to build little beds and travel trunks for the kids' dolls. Dal and Betty took the girls to the beach for the weekend, where Dal could be found baking in the sun with his nose in a book. In Costa Rica, Dal retired from education, having spent most of his career as a school superintendent or principal with many Canadian or international institutions. In addition to being an excellent leader in his chosen career, his daughters most enjoyed his singing while driving and his performances in many musical theater shows. Retirement did not slow down the pace of Dal's dreams or schemes as he continued to travel with the family, take on major house renovations, sing in choirs, act in community theater, engage in spirited, well-researched debates about history, politics, and religions, and spontaneously buy boats. Dal and Betty moved back to southern Manitoba in 2003, where they lived, laughed, and raced each other daily to finish the morning's crossword. In 2015, Betty was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, and in 2019, she moved into long-term care. After this, Dal lived on his own, did his best to clean his apartment, grew an abundant vegetable garden on the balcony, ate unlimited shrimp curry, Betty's allergic, and finally decorated in his own style, which turns out is very safari themed. Dal was a good person to ring up when you had a crazy idea or a wild dream. He was always thinking up new adventures, building backyard zip lines, motorcycling on treacherous mountain roads, or making up new lyrics to old songs to entertain his friends and colleagues. If you had an outlandish idea, he had either already done it or could get on board and help plan. Dal was the happiest and proudest when he was talking about his travels or his children and their many accomplishments. Many reading this will already have been regaled by tales of his climb of Mount Kilimanjaro, riding his bike into the Niagara River, catching a pickpocket in Nigeria. Dal's jeans were too tight to have his wallet pried out. Or, of course, the old classic, Corny and the Rattlesnake. He loved nothing more than telling a good story, some of which may have been rather embellished, so please come chat with the family and share some Dal stories on Monday, July 15th at the First Unitarian Universalist Church. Wear something comfortable, colorful, he was partial to orange, or animal print. Dad had a complete faith, not in religion, but in something good beyond this world and a life after death. At his memorial, we will be celebrating his audacious 88 years of life and toasting to the next one. If you ever crossed Dal, think of him when you eat breakfast. He many times instructed his kids to sprinkle a little of his ashes into the oatmeal of his enemies. If you liked or loved him, please think of him the next time you sit down with a cold beer, indulge in an absurdly large bowl of ice cream, crack the spine of a fresh book, or set off on an adventure.
Oh, what a nice guy.
He lived a fucking life.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I was thinking about, and this is so random, but it's just a humanity thing. It's so weird because it's like we've all, probably most of us listening, have lived in an apartment before, and there's so many different people, and it's crazy to think that like you could be living underneath someone like Dal who lived this incredible life and built all these things, and you just don't know.
I know. You don't know. I saw something someone posted, like kind of sad and a little judgy, but it was like a picture of an apartment building, and like underneath it was like this really bright, lit up, cozy apartment with a family sitting and eating. And then there was above it was like this dark apartment with like one guy looking like lonely, and it said like life choices.
Oh my God.
I know. It's kind of
It's like a pro-life ad.
Oh shit. I'm on the wrong side of.
Well, I think about it all the time. I'm like, because my next door neighbor is a guy who word in the neighborhood is that his wife passed away a few years ago, and he lives by himself, and I do too. And I'm always like, we're just two guys living alone next to each other.
Bachelors.
Yeah, two bachelors. Well, especially in this neighborhood, it's so family, like everywhere. But yeah, but I've never really gotten to talk to him because I just don't see him a whole lot.
Yeah.
Except when someone was picking him up from a Prius when you got here. And
Oh, that was him?
yeah, well, he was in the passenger side. I don't know what that lady was doing, blocking my driveway.
I don't know, but
Lady, if you hear this.
if that's the new woman in his life, break up with her. She can't drive.
Here's your misogyny coming through.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we have spun in our coffins.
We have bitched our obituaries.
Means it's time for some dumb
Ass
criminals. Who you got?
Okay, I don't know who's the criminal. Like,
What?
Actually, you know what? Let me just show you this. So this sign has been floating around social media for a while, and I was like, okay, what kind of dumbass criminal was the culprit of this? So look at this sign. So it says, I'll explain it, but I want to show Spencer first. So it's a...
I've seen that.
Okay, so it says, who does it? Every evening, a pepper falls down the chimney. And it's this green bell pepper that has carved into it, I hate you. And I guess someone is throwing a bell pepper into someone's chimney every night, okay? And like harassing them, saying, I hate you. And so the person who keeps receiving this put out flyers all around town with the picture of it. And it says, who does it? Every evening a pepper falls down the chimney. I worship the Lord and have never made an enemy. Who's doing it? it goes on to say, I have a one-of-a-kind relationship with Christ. He has harmed people for me. He can find you in any town, and I suggest you end your campaign. Let's talk about it. And then it includes the number. So someone is just harassing some random person with a bell pepper, and that person wanted answers, so he posted these signs all over town. It started kind of going viral all over social media, and people were saying like, oh, I saw this sign in Pittsburgh and whatever. Turns out it's fake, and I was so sad that it was fake. It was created by an Instagram user named True Wagner. But when I was researching this, I came across an article explaining it on thesun.com, and they went on in this article to say that, quote, it comes after real neighbor trauma between a husband and ex-wife that led to the erection of a 12-foot high middle finger statue.
Oh, I love that.
Alan Markovitz put the enormous bronze statue of a hand with its middle finger raised on his back porch, aimed at the windows of his ex-wife's house. The $7,000 statue is almost 12 feet tall, and it even has a spotlight on it so that the neighbors can see it at night. According to Lenka Toy, a woman claiming to be the ex-wife's daughter, the Michigan man allegedly bought the house next door to his ex and moved in with his 17-year-old daughter, Tiffany. How psychotic do you have to be to buy the house directly next to your ex-wife and then put a statue up like that? Lenka tweeted. Her Twitter account has since gone private. So we have a dumb-ass criminal who wasn't real. And then we've got a dumbass ex-husband.
Petty ex-husband.
Petty ex-husband.
I'm not going to even call him a dumbass. Maybe she deserved it.
Maybe she did. But I wish so bad that the bell pepper thing was true.
I know.
Well, who do you got?
I have one from Reddit that I came across. Somebody asked, cops of Reddit, what is the most stupid criminal you have ever met?
I love this.
The first one said, we had an inmate that would constantly call Crime Stoppers on his contraband cell phone. And try to get them to give him the reward if he confessed to his crimes. He did this several times a month. So that one was from Reddit. Okay, but I also saw this video floating around, and it just really shows that do not be held. You saw the picture? Do not be held back by life, because you could really do whatever you want. So there's a video that goes viral every couple years, and it is of someone in a wheelchair robbing a store with a gun, but that is placed between their feet in the wheelchair. It took a little bit of digging to find out the true story behind this.
Oh, okay. I do not know this.
Okay, well, fucking gear up,
shit.
Buckus, because there's a lot going on here. First of all, I just want to rewatch the video with you just to see it. There he goes.
Fuck, man. Damn.
I'll do it, man. Okay, well, apparently, according to the Daily Mail, this is the truth. And it shows a picture of the guy holding up the gun with his feet. And it says, this is the moment a paralyzed, deaf, mute teenager tried to rob a jewelry store in Brazil by aiming a fake gun with his feet.
Fake.
The astonishing incident unfolded Monday afternoon at a shop in Canela, Rio Grande do Sul, when the 19-year-old placed a threatening note on the counter using his feet. The note from the suspect, who authorities say cannot move his hands, read, "Hand over everything, don't raise attention." A store surveillance camera captured the teen in his wheelchair before he aimed a plastic toy gun wedged between his feet at the counter. A person who appeared to be a customer walked away while the employees confronted the teenager, whose name has not been released by authorities.
Wow.
I just thought that was crazy because I'm like, you know what?
That's talented.
That's fucking talent. It reminds me of, like, remember when there was that Taco Bell story or something happened where someone went through the Taco Bell drive-thru and the worker was like, girl, you ain't got no arms.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Or the guy who always comes up who has no arms and he always being arrested for like stabbing people.
Oh, yeah, because the people are always commenting like, where do you put the handcuffs?
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
Don't be a dumbass.
Yeah.
But you can also do whatever you want to do. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yep.
And where there's a will, people are going to argue about that will and what they're inheriting.
Yeah, they're going to be sneaky about it.
But that is where we're going to leave it for the week. We hope to see you guys on our book tour. Again, tickets are available on obituarypodcast.com. Go check out our new show that we can't say the name because this is going to go out a week early for some of y'all. Oh, and please rate and review that new show because that helps a lot when a new show comes out. And also rate and review us if you like it, if you feel like it. If you have it in you to leave 2 reviews, Madison can eventually get air conditioning again.
Woohoo!
All right, but that's it for the week. We'll see you next week with some more coffin spinners.
And obituaries.
And dumb
Ask
criminals. Goodbye.
Goodbye.